guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be my November empties and low buy update. Let's get into it. I have a couple of hair care products that are empties. That doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I include them in this video. So I finished my viral shampoo. A lot of people ask, well, not a lot, but some people ask what I use to maintain this purple hair color, because if you've ever tried to dye your hair purple, you know that once you leave the salon, that purple fades within a couple washes. And this is what does the trick for me to maintain my hair color in between salon visits, which is about every 9 or 10 weeks. So I go a long stretch before I go back to the salon, and this shampoo is what allows that to happen. There is no way I could have purple hair if it wasn't for this shampoo, and I've tried before, and it went from purple to blue to gray within like a week. And I just walked around with gray hair until my next salon visit. If I would have known about this then, I would have been a little bit cooler. But anyways, this is the shade Extreme Purple, and this is what I've been using for the majority of the time since I dyed my hair purple. But recently I have switched to like an extreme lavender shade to lighten it up a little bit. And I think I like it. I don't know. I've only been using the lavender for a couple weeks since finishing this bottle off. So I don't know how much of this color is residual from this purple and how much of this color is from the lavender, but I'm using a lavender shade now. So if my hair looks a little bit lighter, that's probably why. I also finished this hydrating argan hair mask from the brand Arvazalia. I don't know. Arvazalia. Why do they make it so hard to say this? Here it is, right there. I received this from one of the companies I often review products from. I think it was Pinch Me, but I could be wrong. And it has been sitting in my shower for like a year. For some reason, I just never used it, and I finally used it. So even though this is a little sample and it really was not a big deal, I'm so excited to have this gone. It was getting a little bit grody just sitting in my shower. In fact, just touching it makes me want to wash my hands. So really happy to have that gone. I finished an essential oil. This is the scent Lemongrass. I use this on my dryer balls for my laundry. So I always like to talk about this because honestly, before I discovered dryer balls, it didn't occur to me that there was any other solution to using fabric softener. I just thought that everybody used fabric softener and that's just what we all did. And then I started following the zero waste movement, and I realized that most people who are attempting to go zero waste are not using fabric softeners of any kind. And in fact, it's really an unnecessary step. Now, the one thing that my dryer balls do not do for me at all is prevent static cling. So I have a humidifier running from November until April to keep the humidity levels high in this house, because otherwise static cling becomes a real issue. Some people did give me the tip that I could throw in like a ball of aluminum foil to take out the static, but that didn't really solve my zero waste problem. So I've gotten away from doing that. I tried it and then I've stopped doing it because I felt guilty about going through like a sheet of aluminum foil. It was just a catch-22. But anyways, I use a drop of essential oil on every dryer ball with every dryer load. And lemongrass is a very nice scent. I liked it a lot. It's good for spring and summer particularly. It does have a lemon scent, very fresh springtime scent, and I enjoyed this very much. This is from the brand Now, which I believe I picked up at one of those Sunrise health food stores by my house. I finished a body wash. I know I had a body wash in last month's empties, but I have another body wash in this month's empties, and I'm so excited about it. I know a couple of you guys are following along with my journey to eliminate my body washes altogether. I think a few years ago I had like almost 30 of them, or somewhere in the 20s, but I finished another body wash and it was a big one. This is the Olay Jojoba Extract Luscious Orchid Body Wash, and I loved every minute of this body wash. Unfortunately, I don't think this specific body wash is still available. Bless you. Bless you. Unfortunately, I don't think this specific line of body wash is still available. If it was, I might cancel this whole getting rid of body washes altogether and just start buying these because they are so good. Also, Olay is not cruelty free, so that's another snag in my little plan. But everything about this body wash was pure perfection. The littlest amount washed my entire body. It literally, like a dime size amount, washed my entire body from head to toe. This packaging with the opening at the bottom is genius. I never had to tip it upside down and let it settle. It just all went down, and when I used it, it was super easy. You just flip the top up, squeeze what you need out, and flip it back. I'm currently working on a body wash. I picked the smallest one that I had left in my stash that wasn't attached to like a perfume that I have, and I'm working on it now. It is garbage compared to this. It has a twist off lid. I can't imagine anything more inconvenient than having to twist off a lid to access my body wash while I'm taking a shower. It's very thin, it's clear. I need 5 times more product than this, and I miss this so much. By the way, this luscious orchid smell is heaven. It's very strongly scented, so that could be a plus or a negative depending on your views of scented products, but I like the scent very much. Like I said, I would buy 100 of these if 1, Olay was a cruelty-free brand, and 2, if it was still available, and 3, if I wasn't trying to eliminate plastic from my home. So I enjoyed every minute of this, is the point I'm trying to make. All right, let's move on to the face. I have 2 face washes. This is the one that was on my bathroom sink that I used at night, and this was the one that was in my shower that I used every morning. This I received from 08L for review purposes, which means it's probably a K-Beauty product. It's called Mother Made Active Charcoal Enzyme Powder Wash. It was literally a bottle full of gray powder that I would pour into my hand and activate with some water and then wash my face with. It worked very well. I could rub it all over my eyes and it didn't aggravate my eyes in any way. So overall, I thought this was a very good product, but I'm not a big fan of the powder formula, and I'm not a big fan of a gray face wash. So I'm glad to have this gone. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I used it, but I would not go to the trouble of purchasing this again or purchasing it for the first time now that this bottle is gone. There's just so many easier ways to wash your face than to activate a powder. This is another Olay product. This is the Olay Fresh Effects Shine, Shine, Go Away Shine Minimizing Cleanser. This has been in my bathroom shower for almost a year. This lasted forever. This is another product. Maybe it's Olay, I don't know what, but the tiniest amount washed my entire face. If I accidentally squirted too much into my hand, I would have enough to wash my neck, and like everything from the waist up would be clean. If I squirted like more than this amount, like that is all it took, and if I went overboard, my whole body was clean with just this face wash. It lasted forever. It had a beautiful fresh scent. I really liked it. Essence of honeysuckle and white tea is what it says on here. Again, if it wasn't for the fact that Olay was not cruelty free, I would buy like 30 of these. I thought this was so good, but unfortunately I'm gonna look for an alternative that is cruelty free to this one. So it's too bad. This truly lasted almost a year. How? I don't know. Okay, the next 2 empties I'm gonna talk about have both been in 2 projects, totaling almost 2.5 years. They've been in it neck and neck, and it's so fitting that I finished both of them off in the past month. They are my Pond's Cold Cream and my Proactive Face Mask. Both of these products were in my 2020 Vision Project pan, which was an 18-month project. And then I transitioned them over to my Beauty A to Z this year, and I finished them both. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I do not like masking. I'm horrible at masking. I consider it a job. There's nothing luxurious about masking. I am so glad to have one more mask out of my stash. I did not like this at all. I totally 100% hate panned it. And if any of you said, Paula, I don't like this product, should I use it? I would say no, throw it in the garbage. But for some reason, when it comes to me, I have to put myself through the process of hate panning. So I hate pan this, even though I didn't like it. It did a good job on my skin. I have no complaints about that, but I didn't like the smell, and I just don't like masking. So I am so glad that this is gone. Let's talk about this guy. I didn't mind this. I didn't love it, but I didn't mind it. This lasted forever. Whereas this product was a chore to use and I had to really go out of my way to remind myself and force myself to use. I used this every single night for the last 2.5 years, and it took that long for me to use it up. I know some of you guys have actually purchased this because I have talked about this so much over the last 2.5 years. I hope you guys are loving it. I don't know if I would repurchase this or not. Probably not. Pond's is not a cruelty-free brand. But yeah, I cannot believe it's finally gone. I think if I scrape this out with a brush, I can get one more use. So I'll probably do that tonight. But that is what the inside of this bottle looks like. I know some of you guys thought this day was never gonna come. I don't think I thought this day was ever gonna come. But I have finished the Pond's Cold Cream. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow night when I need to wash my face. I'm not gonna know what to do with myself. Okay, I have 2 little skincare samples. This is the Bare Minerals Skin Longevity Long Life Herb Serum. Ulta was giving these away for their birthday present this year, so I stopped by Ulta when I was buying those magnetic lashes and I picked this up. It was exactly 1 week's worth of product and I used it day and night. I didn't see any noticeable difference, but I also didn't mind this. I thought it was pretty good. I'm horrible at reviewing serums, you guys know that, but I would consider repurchasing this down the road. I like Bare Minerals a lot and they're cruelty-free, so I would consider buying this. I also finished the sample of Murad. This was in my advent calendar project pan, and I thought this was a very good product as well. Unfortunately, Murad is not cruelty-free either. A lot of these products are not being considered for repurchase because I am trying to be mindful of their cruelty-free status. Now, I am not saying I'm going cruelty-free yet. I tell you guys this all the time. I have not 100% committed, but when there is an option for a cruelty brand, I am trying to choose that brand over one that is not cruelty-free. So I'm mentioning it to, 1, remind myself that whether it's cruelty-free or not, and 2, to let you guys know. So Murad is not cruelty-free. I thought this was a very good moisturizer. It was pretty thick, so I probably wouldn't want to wear this in the summer. It would be a little bit too heavy, but in the winter, this is very nice. I'm using another product right now that I'm trying out, the Biossance one that I hauled a couple days ago, and that one's really thick too, and that one is cruelty-free. Okay, I have 1 perfume empty before we go on to makeup. That is my Rollerball from Tokyo Milk Dark in 18 Chance. This was really good, but it's not one that I would repurchase. Nice, but not like, oh my gosh, I need to wear this every day for the rest of my life. I mentioned this in my Advent Calendar Project Pan update, but at the same time I was working on this, I also had received a sample of Hermes Twilly, and I preferred that to this. And although there's a significant price difference between Hermes and Tokyo Milk, I would spend the money for the Hermes over repurchasing this one. None of that really matters because I probably have a couple of lifetimes worth of perfume as it is, so no need to worry myself over repurchasing perfume right now, but I'm really happy to have a Rollerball out of my stash. Okay, I don't have too much for makeup this month. It wasn't a huge makeup empties month. I did finish my MAC Fix Plus setting spray. I do like this very much. You guys know it, MAC is not cruelty free, so I don't know if I would repurchase this or not. I do like it very much. I don't know, but this is gone and I will probably back to MAC it. I finished this Urban Decay lip balm. This was the Urban Decay Lip Love Honey Infused Lip Therapy in the shade Drizzle. This was in my A to Z project pan as well. I never imagined in a million years that I could finish this in the year of 2020. I thought this would definitely be rolling over into 2021. And if the pandemic would not have happened, that probably would have been the case. But because the pandemic happened and because I've been sitting at home for the better part of 8 months, I have been walking into my bathroom more often and putting this on when my lips feel dry. So rather than getting like a typical 2 use a day with this, there would be days where I would get 3, 4, 5 uses out of this. And that's what caused me to finish it up much sooner than expected. I drop everything. I caught it though. I'm pretty sure this is not still available anymore, so I'm not going to talk about whether or not I would rebuy it. But I enjoyed it very much. I'm glad to have another lip balm out of my stash. I have way too many lip balms. I finished these guys. These came in an Ipsy bag a long time ago. They are from My Couture. They are highlighting papers. They were way too dark for me to use as a highlighter. I used them as a blush. And I thought they were good, but not great. This is not the most convenient way to apply highlighter. This shade in particular, which I don't see a shade, maybe the shade is St. Bart's. It does say St. Bart's on here, so maybe the shade of these is St. Bart's. This was a little bit too orangey for my skin. It looked straight up orange. I would have preferred something a little bit more peachy or pinky to this orange shade. And at the end of the day, I cannot be bothered with highlighting papers. It was just kind of inconvenient. And I have 4 or 5 or 6 lifetimes worth of blush. So again, no need to worry myself about whether or not I would repurchase these because I have lots of blush. And this last empty I'm going to talk about is one that I've been hemming and hawing about whether to include in my empties for this month. This is not an empty. This is like for the sake of the low buy and empty. But I finished half of my Revlon Color Stay. This is in my past, present, future project pan, and I finished this lightest half. You can see right through to the bottom. There's a little bit of product left in the bottom, but I'm not going to kill myself to fish it out. It has gone from a fairly creamy, nice formula, which this side still is, to like the chunks, like just chunks of pigment, and it's not very creamy anymore. So the product that I could get out of here, I would put on my eyes, and then I would have to blend out for like 2 minutes, which isn't that long, but it's a long time when you're trying to get your makeup done. So I'm not going to worry about this product that's at the bottom. I'm considering this half an empty. Similar to how I count a pan and an eyeshadow palette towards my low buy update, I'm going to count this half of this eyeshadow duo towards my low buy update. So one empty right here. This I'm going to keep working on. Once I'm done with this, I'll count this side as an empty too. But that's what's going on with that. All right, let's move on to the low buy update. As of last month, I had a surplus of 24 points in my low buy bank. That was due to a fairly large declutter that I did where a subscriber of mine purchased several pieces. I talked about that in last month's update. So if you missed it, go back to my October empties and low buy update and you can see it. Last month was the first time I've been out of the hole for a very, very long time. I feel like I've pretty much been in the hole this whole year. It's 2020. What would we expect? I felt very good about this little cushion I'd created in my low buy bank, and I thought I would try to build on that so that should I want something down the road, I would have the points to justify it. However, I have screwed that up completely through PR and other products that have come my way. Normally at this point, I would show you all of the products that came in, which would be like 1 or 2 things, but because so many things came in, I did a separate video 2 days ago called What the Haul, Paula. So you could find that if you missed all of the things that have come into my life. So here are the totals. I had a surplus of 24 points. Out of all of the empties that I'm talking about today, I am giving myself 10 credits towards my low buy bank. So that puts me at 34 points. However, I went through all of the PR and all of the products I showed you guys in my What the Haul video. I've decided that there were 24 points that needed to be counted against me for all of the products that came in during the month of November. And by the way, that package from Sephora that I referred to in that video still hasn't arrived, so that's not being counted. That we'll talk about that next month. But for this month, I am charging myself 24 points against my low buy bank. But it's a 2-win policy, so I have to double that. So that means that's 48 points against my low buy bank, which means I'm right back in the hole. So I had 34 points. I'm charging myself 48 points. That puts me at a negative 14 for my November low buy update. What a bummer, huh? I'm okay with it. I'm sure I will dig myself out of it. This system isn't perfect, but it is keeping me accountable. And I knew the second I got approved for that Ofra palette, I was in big trouble. If it wouldn't have been for that Ofra palette, I would have been okay, but that Ofra palette just totally put me over the edge. But still, like, that is the first eyeshadow palette that's come into my life in like 18 months. So, you know, it was exciting. I don't know what to say. So currently, as of today, I'm in the hole for 14 points once again, and I'm gonna start digging myself out of that hole starting next month. Well, I'm gonna keep working on it. I'm always working on it. I know a lot of you guys are excited for inventory time, so am I. I will be working on it within the next couple weeks, starting to get organized, starting to film the little snippets that end up becoming my inventory videos. So if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please consider subscribing because I know that my inventory videos are a favorite for a lot of you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. So again, no need to worry myself about whether or not I would repurchase this packaging with the bottom, with the opening at the bottom. Oh no. The opening at the bottom. Oh no. What was that? Oh Lord.